Beautiful people, welcome back to another video. For those new here, my name is Pete.
Hello, this is Peter.
Some call me Pilot Pete. I'm a Boeing 767 airline pilot. And today, a beautiful trip. The flying has started. The marathon is over. The legs are feeling good. We're jetting down Miami. First stop is Buenos Aires, Argentina. Hola, ¿cómo estás? We're in Miami, Florida now. The trip started with a deadhead. So I deviated from that, booked a confirmed flight from Newark down to Miami, met up last night with my buddy Brandon, who's an airline captain down here in Miami.
Way to go, Brandon.
Like a murder scene.
Had some nice taco dinner. Then we checked into the hotel and look who woke us up this morning, Mr. Iguana. Good morning, sir. How are you? Hanging out in the tree. And a beautiful day to go flying. I'm actually the RFO on this trip, Relief First Officer. So there'll be a captain, a first officer, and then myself. Since this flight is over 8 hours long, they need at least 3 pilots to fly this airplane. We're each gonna get about 2 hours and 15 minutes of break. There'll be a bunk on the 767. Haven't met up with the crew yet. They are at a different hotel. So I'll either have the first rest or the third rest probably, because the captain normally always takes the second, but we don't know. We don't know how it's gonna work out. But as always, if you wanna come along for the journey, we got Buenos Aires, Santiago, Chile, and a flight back to Miami. Let's go fly. These are definitely my favorite kind of trips because why wouldn't I want to be paid to sleep a little bit, eat a little bit, international catering, and then obviously a super cool destination, at least for me. I've only been to Buenos Aires once. It was for 24-hour layover. This one, unfortunately, is also only a 24-hour layover. Greetings from the Miami airport, specifically the 767 bunk. I'll give you a little tour of, since it's a greater than 8-hour flight. There's 3 crew members, captain, FO, RFO. Here's our little bunk. This is where we'll be spending some time. I just got alerted I'll be the first person to rest. So this will be my little sleeping quarters. I'm about to make the bunk up real quick. Here are the pillows and blankets. I've shown it before on a few of my international trips, but for those new here it is. Pretty quiet. They're loading right now, so it's actually really loud outside. But as you can tell, it's pretty quiet in here. Usually the bottom bunk is where we go, so I'll make the bed, have my pillow, and as a 6'4" lanky giraffe, I just fit. But crew seems awesome. Captain brought some Cuban food from Miami here, so I just had a little snack in the briefing room. And like I said, they're loading up now. I'm in charge of the walk around, so I did the 767 pre-flight. And then here's a look at our flight plan for our 8-hour flight down to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Long journey. There we are. There are all the fixes. Pretty much a straight shot through Colombia and let's see, Ecuador and I think Peru maybe. I'm not really sure exactly the countries, but all I know is we're going Miami to Buenos Aires, Argentina. Long flight down there. It's over like 3,500 nautical miles and will take us just over 8.5 hours to get there. And for the actual flight, I'll be sitting in the jump seat directly behind the pilot chairs, not in the jump seats where commuters sit, but in the jump seat where like a check airman would sit, or in this case an RFO, because for takeoffs and landings, all crew members are required to be in the flight deck. For takeoff and landing, I'll have a headset on, I'll be monitoring the taxi, monitoring the instruments, and it's kind of cool because I actually get like a bird's eye view of what's going on. It's a lot easier to kind of catch any mistakes or help the crew with navigating the airport or radio calls or anything that they might miss. Not anticipating like they will, but I've been in the right seat before. I've made mistakes, obviously. It's a easier position to be in as the kind of overseer, for lack of a better term, as we taxi out of here and get going down to Buenos Aires. All right, bunk's all made up. Got my change of clothes ready to go, so when I come back, I'll change into that, get out of the pilot uniform. Got my little pillow, there's a reading light, and probably watch some Netflix and hang out. Up to the front we go. Well, that took freaking forever. Over 56 minutes to get out of Miami Airport. We actually had to use the longer runway, runway 9, which is the runway that's furthest from where we push at our gate. We're right next to 8 left and 8 right. We have over 140,000 pounds of just gas on board the airplane. So I had to do a packs off takeoff, which means the air conditioning system had to be turned off for takeoff, and we had to use the longest available runway. And all the arrivals, I mean, it's midday, it's 11 a.m. local leaving Miami. We're coming into runway 9, so we literally took us forever to taxi for like 30 minutes, just sitting there watching airplanes land until it was our time to go. But finally got airborne, passing through 18,000 feet. I got the sweatpants on, canes, uniforms off. I got my omelet warming up in the oven. First rest, so I got the bunk all set up, ready to go. And I'll have about 2 hours or so back here. When you get nice and warm and cozy, usually I tend to fall asleep a little bit, but 2 guys are up front taking care of everything, and then they call me up. I'll take the captain's seat. I'll sit in the left seat because he's taking a second break. He'll come back here and rest, and then the FO will take the third break. I'll switch seats, go to the right seat. Captain will take his seat back, and then when the 45 minutes prior to descent, FO will come back. I'll take the jump seat. He'll go back in his seat. We'll change back into our uniforms, and that'll be the 8.5-hour flight to Buenos Aires. Breakfast is served. The omelet, hash browns, sausage with some fruit. And we got the Netflix on. It's work, folks. We've got to do it. Hour flight almost done. Back into the pilot uniform. Brakes are over. Captain just took his seat, FO in his seat. I'll be taking the jump seat, and we'll brief the arrival. We'll be landing in Argentina in no time, about 45 minutes from now. Crazy though, we just got a message from our dispatcher, an air traffic control strike happening almost immediately in Buenos Aires in Argentina, and I guess they're allowing arrivals to come in but no departures. So fingers crossed they keep up with that and they let us land, number one. Number two, we'll see what happens when we get there and what that means for my rest of my trip. So stay tuned for that. I'll see you in Buenos Aires. Hola, ¿cómo estás? From Buenos Aires, Argentina. Great flight, but who knew the hard part would be once we got here? About an hour drive to our hotel, and guess what? No rooms available. No freaking rooms available. I've talked about this before on different videos. You're everyone's kind of customer. That does happen. I've said this before. When you're an airline pilot, you become everyone else's customer. And that's because the ground transportation got all screwed up. So someone didn't do their job. Someone didn't do their job, didn't have room for myself, the captain, or the FO. No rooms available. Convention going on here. It's freaking past midnight now. We landed at like 7:30 local, and there's no hotels, no hotel rooms. Called our headquarters. They're like, put you on hold. They couldn't find rooms. Disaster, just absolute disaster. It can be obviously frustrating. It happens. It doesn't happen that often, but you got to remember that, it's all going to be okay. But you can imagine, after waking up at 6 a.m. for a 9-hour flight, the last thing you want to do when you get to your hotel is not have a room to have to do this whole song and dance. Because like I said, past midnight, captain and FO are going out to eat. They're like, do you want to go grab a beer and eat and decompress? I was like, I'm hungry, but I'm actually really, really tired because, like I said, we've been up for a while. But we're here. I'll debrief the flight. The one thing I had mentioned was, as the person sitting in the jump seat, you're kind of overseeing everything. It's easy to catch mistakes. And it's exactly what happened. Like a little thing missed, and that's why we're a crew. I've made mistakes before. The person has caught me and said, hey, don't forget this. And like I said, we had a long taxi out to runway 9, took over an hour to take off. I was the first rest, good food, pretty bumpy flight. It's springtime here in South America, so the soon to be summertime thunderstorms are growing. And then the language barrier is always tough. I had the 5.5, 6 hours up front, a little bit in the left seat, as you could see with the HUD heads up display. Captain came back, got out of his seat, he took his seat, and the FO went back and I took the right seat. Great guys, great crew. And then now my 24-hour layover here just got a lot shorter based on the not having to have a room. And then we got into ATC. The strike, I guess, happens now, and I don't know what's gonna happen. So maybe I might be stuck here for a little bit longer. We'll see. But for now, I'm gonna change out of the uniform, take a quick shower, and head to bed. I'll see you guys tomorrow in Buenos Aires for some steak. You best believe it. Buenos dias, more like buenos tardes, almost 1 p.m. Didn't sleep very well, didn't get to sleep till like 3 a.m. local, just a lot of moving parts with the hotel. As you can tell, pouring rain here in Buenos Aires. Not going to be the best day to go do a lot of fun things, but we're venturing out for some breakfast now. And then pickup today is around 10 p.m. We'll see how smoothly that goes with the transportation because the crew I flew in with is done. They're deadheading back to the States today and tonight. And the captain I'm meeting up with for the next leg to Santiago, Chile, just deadheaded in. And he's at a different hotel. So it's going to be a mess, I can already tell. But for now, breakfast time, and I'm going to find some Americano breakfast because I'm freaking starving. So this place is definitely very Americano. I got all the state license plates. And then Jay's menu, Upper West Side, West Village, Uncle Joe's, Midtown, Hudson Yards. Very New York, very Americano. Feels like we're at home in Buenos Aires. Doesn't get more American than this. Waffles with syrup, orange juice, bacon and eggs, and toast. Bon appetit. Pouring rain, so just worked on my laptop, got some work done in the room, and now we're at the gym because you already know it's non-negotiable, but not much to work with. I feel like the gym is broken. I don't know, this is like POS right here, but I haven't run since the marathon. Maybe we'll do a couple miles on the treadmill if this thing even freaking works. We'll move the body, some stretching, but not gonna be the best lift of my life, I guess. 30-minute treadmill run done. First one back since the marathon. Felt pretty good, but also definitely a little sore. And now I'm just doing a little circuit, push-ups, curls, tricep extensions, legs, air squats, and some sit-ups just to get that blood flowing. And then captain that I'm flying with, we were gonna get dinner, but he's at a different hotel. So just gonna do my own thing. Probably won't even find a good steakhouse because I'll be back here in like a week or so for a longer layover and I don't wanna be rushing. But question of the day was, Pete, you're always talking about how difficult crosswind landings are. What about crosswind takeoffs? Simple answer, crosswind takeoffs aren't really that challenging because you're on the ground. The hardest part about crosswinds is what the wind does to the airplane as you're coming into land, pushing you left and right, and then making sure you don't weather vane. Taking off in a crosswind is a skill and something that we do practice, but since the wheels are on the ground and you're moving, you're only really controlling the steering with your feet and a little bit aileron into the wind until you get fast enough where in the Boeing 767, you're completely neutral because you don't want to have drag on takeoff. So as I don't really talk about crosswind takeoffs that much, taking off in general is really, really easy. And I'm not just saying that to say that.
A monkey could take off an airplane.
If and when you ever take a flight or discovery flight or your first fun flight, hopefully the pilot flying you in a little plane will let you take off because I let all my friends and family do it. It really is as simple as pulling back on the controls and you go up. Now from there, it gets a little bit more challenging, but the takeoff part really isn't too bad. So if you've never been to Buenos Aires, Argentina, a lot of Americans, including myself, say it has kind of like European vibe and like a South American vibe. So you can just see about the streets and the way the cars look and the street signs and the poles and everything kind of around the city is much more European looking than, say, Brazil or Quito, Ecuador, or any of the other major cities in South America. The hotel concierge gave me a recommendation for a steakhouse. 3 ones I wanted to go to that were somewhat nearby are all closed till 8 p.m. They eat late here. It's like 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. and they all close around they're open from noon to 3 for lunch and then open back up for dinner from 8 to 1 a.m. like I said. So not conducive of a late flight later today. So currently 6 p.m. Gonna go try out this one. You watched my last Argentina visit. I went to Don Julio already. So main course is here. About to devour this steak and let you know how it is. We'll try something new and compare the steaks. The captain that I flew with down here told me to get provolito, which is provolone cheese, pretty much fried. It's pretty good. It just tastes like a seasoned mozzarella stick, honestly, but got the ribeye. Time for the main event, the ribeye, 400 grams, medium rare, pure deliciousness. And for whatever reason, I got these things. But back to the main event, rating coming soon. All right, steak was excellent. So freaking good. The meat here is top notch. They don't mess around. Vegetables were a total waste of time and money, but I'm looking for alfajores. It's like a sweet treat here in Argentina. The guy told me to come to Havana, the best in the biz. I'm gonna get one, but more importantly, I'm gonna get him a box for SJ because I didn't bring them home for her last time. She'll appreciate the desserts that I bring back from my endeavors. Alfajore is secured. I got an individual one because you gotta always sample the product before you bring them home for your girlfriend. They're like a little cake. Honestly, they were a lot better last time. This one's not that good, but SJ will be eating these before the vlog comes out. So she won't know that they're not that good until she tries them herself. But I'll never buy them again from that place. They said Havana was the best place to get them. Shame. Walking back to the hotel, got about like an hour and a half till alert call. Not tired. It's only a 2-hour flight to Santiago, Chile. And also it's 2 hours behind East Coast right now. So it's like 7 local. Body clock is only 5 p.m. So we're cruising right now, folks. Hello, this is Peter. Yes. 9:43 local time taxi. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. All right, international wake-up call successful. Time to clean up the room. Kind of a mess right now. And get to work. All right, folks, we're here on the Buenos Aires ramp. Just pre-flighted a Boeing 767. She's all set to go. We're flying at night. Not our favorite, but luckily only a 2-hour short hop over to Santiago, Chile. Gonna be me, myself, the captain. We got a jump seater, 2 hours, let's go fly. Just landed in Santiago, Chile. Captain's leg. Flight is now over. To the hotel, in bed we go. Hola from Santiago, Chile. What a difference this place is compared to Buenos Aires as far as weather is concerned. 70 degrees, springtime in Santiago. Freaking exhausted from yesterday's flight. Didn't get to sleep till like 3 a.m. By the time we cleared customs, got to the hotel, did all that song and dance. Now I'm on the hunt for some breakfast. Flight last night though, it was a good flight, but man, coming over those mountains, the Andes into Santiago, Chile airport, those mountains at like 25,000 feet. You can see them off your left wing because of the moon kind of showing them, and then the terrain radar. Seeing all the red and stuff, it's pretty crazy. It was the captain's first time doing it, but again, the GPS, the autopilot, it's right on track, so there's no danger to it. It's just crazy because we don't have that kind of topography, SJ's favorite word, in the US. But good flight, landed, no really issues. Had to wait a little bit for our gate because a bunch of LATAM 787s and American 777s were getting ready to depart for their red eyes, which is what I'll be on tonight. The trip is officially over as far as the flying goes. Now it's time to deadhead back. So we'll get some time here and then we'll make our way a long journey, over 15 hours back to New York. Stumbled across Maliba Cafe, a little bit of language barrier for ordering food, and this is what we came out with. So pancakes look good, but interesting with all the fruit, and definitely don't want beans on my eggs, but it is what it is. We'll give it a shot. Definitely feed me for the next 18 hours. People who were worried about me fasting when I was in Bogota, don't worry, we're not fasting in Argentina nor Santiago. Wish me luck.
A few moments later.
Just as I expected, that breakfast was terrible. Sometimes you just gotta trust your gut, and for whatever reason, I just didn't want to get up. I felt rude, but I should have known better, but it's all right, we'll survive. Pancakes were cold. Everything was just bad. But this is pretty cool. It's that tall building. I don't know if it's the tallest in Santiago. I was here last time. I'm sure people corrected me. I even forget the freaking name of it. I'm really bad with that stuff, so apologies if you're here for the exact terminology and factoids of tall buildings around the world, because it ain't gonna be me. Point in case all the Washington monuments that I've pointed out over my travels. So last week I was in Buenos Aires and I found the Washington Monument there. This week I'm in Dublin, Ireland of all places, and look what I found. The freaking Washington Monument. But a beautiful day here. 72 it said on my phone, and climbing. Not many clouds in the sky, sun is out. Let's go. By now I'm sure almost everyone's heard about the UPS airplane that crashed, the MD-11 in Louisville, Kentucky. I've been waiting to talk about it. This vlog will come out obviously after the fact, and a lot of people messaging me asking questions about it, and I appreciate those people reaching out. I don't work for that company, so I'm okay. But obviously when the news broke and a bunch of friends and family are texting me the pictures and videos, it's disheartening. It's awful. It's really, really sad, because it's not just a plane crash. There were 3 pilots on board, and ultimately, and this is not a fact yet, but they did nothing wrong, and they weren't able to go back to their families and friends after their flight. And throughout this trip, it's obviously been a topic of discussion throughout each flight with the other crew members I'm flying with, and everyone kind of shares the same, just sucks, because you go to work every day thinking you're going to come home after each trip, and unfortunately that's not always the case, because accidents happen. Now, I still believe, and I'm a firm believer, that flying is the safest form of transportation. It's one of the safest things in the world. Our technology, the rules and regulations that are in place, the men and women who operate the airplanes, everything's top notch. But as we know, we live in an imperfect world, and accidents do happen. And unfortunately, that's what happened here, an accident. The NTSB, the FAA, McDonnell Douglas, which is now Boeing, obviously UPS, everyone who flies MD-11s, which is my company as well, will be involved in the, accident investigation to figure out what exactly happened, why this happened, and how to prevent it from happening again. It's scary, but at the same time, it doesn't make sense to me to really be paranoid, because car crashes happen every day. People get hit by buses every day. Some people's heart just stop working. Like, that's life, unfortunately. There's things that we can't always, wrap our heads around. But I guess the main point I'm trying to get across is I just really feel bad for the pilots who perished, their families, obviously, because, they no longer have those people in their lives. And it's just, it's sad. It's sad that that had to happen. It sucks, but again, accidents happen in every walk of life. It sucks, but that's just what it is. As far as what I think happened, what could have caused this, I'm obviously getting a lot of messages about that as well. In person, I'd absolutely give you my answers, but online, I'm not going to really do that at this point in my career, only because I have enough targets on my back as it is, and there are a handful of people in the industry that really dislike pilots who give their opinion on accidents prior to investigations. Now, I'm actually someone who disagrees with that narrative. I see the comments, I see the people getting attacked. I think it's perfectly okay to give your opinion, especially when you have a professional background in the industry. Whether you've flown that exact airplane or not, you have insight that normal people on all the major networks, CNN, Fox, MSNBC, whatever you watch, the terminology, they may have been up in a Cessna or a helicopter once in their lives, and they're dissecting the aircraft accident. People have a right to know, and they're not gonna wait 9 months, 12 months for the NTSB to do their investigation. They want answers right away. So I think giving your opinion, respectfully, of course, because again, people's lives are forever lost and changed. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So if I do decide to one day do aircraft accident investigation kind of debriefs or opinions, I'm on board with all the guys and girls that do that. I think there's nothing wrong with it, because again, it's just their opinion. Again, I haven't watched every single video, but they're not blaming the pilots. They're not saying, yeah, you should have done this. And no, of course not. They're just saying, hey, it looks like an engine fell off the left wing. Hey, it looks like a potential compressor stall. Hey, and that's okay. Opinions and helping the common folk understand a little bit better what's going on to maybe damper their fear. There's nothing wrong with that, in my opinion. So that's my soapbox. That's my 2 cents on the whole matter. Really, really sad. Really, really heartbreaking for those pilots and those families. And we just hope that they're never forgotten and that something like this never happens again. Came down to the gym because you already know, folks, it's non-negotiable before our flight. We're gonna move our body now. This gym is proper. Not really that functional because it doesn't look like they have that much like dumbbells and stuff like that, if that's what you're into, but a little better than that room. The vibes are strong. We got a bunch of equipment. Could definitely do some sort of like high rocks training here. And I like how they have a kind of warm up 10 rounds for time. This is the fitness club, they call it. Let's go. All right, just finished dinner with the captain, and now I gotta heading back to my hotel real quick, pack up, head to the airport, and I start my 15-hour journey back to New York, flying through Houston and then Newark. PD lay flat's my favorite alter ego. Since it's over a 5-hour flight, the company's required to put me in business class, which thankfully I am, because it's a 10:45 at night departure to Houston. Like I said, almost 10-hour flight. And then I got a 2-hour layover there. But by the time I clear customs and get to my new gate, then I got a 4-hour flight, Houston to New York. So Chile is very deep down in South America, a lot further south than I had ever thought before I started flying here. But for all those who say I never hang out with the crew, I just had dinner with the captain. So shoe on you. It was nice little place near our hotel, kind of crunch for time. So I grabbed a quick Uber back. We'll pack, and then I'll show you, I guess it'll be a 30-second montage of the journey, 15 hours back to New York. Let's do it. How to place your bet. When everyday life gets you down, you gotta steal the crown. Got to own it. Don't bitch and moan about it, please. God forbid you scrape your knees, and it's nothing to sneeze at. Oh, I've told you over and over again. You gotta get both hands around it and make your own plans. Roller coaster, it's taking over. It's about time. Finally, we are back home in New York City. Long journey, over 16 hours from start to finish, from Santiago, Chile to Houston, then Houston to Newark. And I got lucky because I was heard and read and saw that we were the last flight from Houston to New York area that was able to depart. Everyone else sitting on the ground for who knows how long because the government shut down. Hopefully by the time this video comes out on Sunday, the government's back open, ATC's get back to getting paid, TSA is back to getting paid, and we're running back to normal as far as these flight delays and cancellations go, because it's affecting everyone. My airline, all your favorite airlines, it's happening. I mean, they're cutting back flights, delays, cancellations all over the news. It's awful. So I got super lucky, and not much time off for me. I'm back to work tomorrow. Technically, it's a deadhead from Memphis to JFK, but already live here, so I'll get a paid day at home, and then we'll be flying the next day to Memphis, and the day after that, Denver, and a quick 3-day trip, and I'll cut it down to, like I said, 2 days with the deadhead. So that vlog will be the following week as long as things go according to plan. But we got our medals. I'm not sure if I showed this. SJ did a nice job for our New York City Marathon medals and bibs. We got some artwork, and I've also been getting asked a lot. Someone just ordered a Northeast Philly, so shout out to that. Airport charts as the holidays are coming up. You're thinking about a Thanksgiving gift, a Hanukkah gift, a Christmas gift. PilotPeteFly.com, custom made airport charts. Get yours today. And as always, I hope you enjoyed the South America flying, the trip in the life. Be safe, fly safe. Comments, questions below, and I'll see you guys in the next one.